Illuvium, talk about how you can prepare for the launch, and then I need to get some sleep because in 9 hours, I'm going to do a 24-hour live stream. I just posted my schedule on my Twitter, and I've got 13 guests that are going to come onto the stream and chat with me at different durations during the stream. And then I got a bunch of other guests in the wings that are going to come hang out at some point as well. It is going to be a really awesome day, okay? The Illuvium launch day. You only get one launch day, okay? Illuvium is ready. We're having our launch day, and I'm going to be streaming and talking through the entire thing, capturing as many Illuvials as I can, ranking up on the Gauntlet leaderboard. And not only that, but I'm going to be showing you guys how to play, showing you guys what it's all about, what my strategy is, playing Illuvium 0. This might actually, now that I think about it, this might actually be the first time a game studio has ever launched 3 games at once. I don't think anyone has ever actually done that before. Even with Blizzard, they launched, I think they opened up with World of Warcraft and then Warcraft and so on. They built a bunch of games, but they never launched games simultaneously. No one's done that before. Illuvium is the first. And I can't wait. Thank you, Hatchie, and good morning, Kevin, from Melbourne, Australia. So let's jump into it. The first one, we got a sweet little leak here. Oh, whoops, I almost hit my thing. All right. First one here, we've got a sweet leak from Dimitri. Double screen, 2 different wallpaper sizes. Absolutely loving what's happening here. It's awesome. It's awesome. He also shares these 2 in 2 different things so that you can add them to your screen, different size screens. I have a wider screen, so I'd probably use that one. But I have my own custom wallpaper where I have Scoriox, Fireox, and Fiery. You guys have probably seen me post it on Twitter before. It's one of my favorite things ever, but I will share this link in case you guys want a new wallpaper. I will throw it in the YouTube chat. There you go. Good morning, Lark Gaming. I actually kind of like that name. I don't get it, but I like it. Okay. So the next one we've got here is Fuel says that fuel crates aren't supported via the Passport wallet. I think we wait until info from the team drops about how we can burn fuel crates for fuel to be used in game. So they haven't quite figured out what they're going to do about all that yet. It is coming. They are going to figure it out. But for now, just sit tight. The fuel crates are a little bit bugged, a little bit of an issue. They will figure that out. What time is going to launch, though? It launches in 9 hours. And then 2 hours after that, you're allowed to travel into the region. So you'll be able to download it in 9 hours. And then 2 hours after that, you will be able to properly play the game. Jump on stream with me, and we will be able to go through all of that. Okay. The next thing is that you will be able to burn layer 1 and get it on layer 2 and use in-game soon. And I don't think there is that are released, but here we go. Vulcan makes a return to Illuvium. He's thinking about making a revival to the channel, hanging out, coming back, making some videos, which would be absolutely epic. I really hope Vulcan makes a return. I'm looking forward to seeing what he puts out. How's it going, Surf? How's it going? The next thing is that Nick is glad to see some coverage out of Hustlepedia. They have quite a solid following. We love the channel. And they're thinking we'll see more coverage like this next week from a wide range of different channels. And I completely agree. I don't know if they're going to all cover it on the launch week or if they're all going to cover it later on over time. But after Illuvium launches, it's going to get a whole lot more attention. We saw that exact thing with Big Time. Big Time didn't really get any attention at all during all of its betas and all the rest of it. The minute it dropped and full release, no more resets, all the creators jumped straight onto it and started talking about it all the time. Whether you think the game's good or not is anyone's opinion. I think it's actually one of the better games in Web3 in terms of gameplay. But yeah, people jumped onto it. I think the same thing is going to happen with Illuvium. All right, the next one here. Johnny said he made a post with some ideas, not an official capacity, regarding the read-only wallets in Illuvium 0, where Passport isn't email password, it's email plus code sent to email. But yes, it sucks. He wrote requirements for secondary wallet quite some time ago, and from what he hears, it is mostly done, but mostly isn't complete, obviously, and it will need some more dev work on and then testing. So they are working to get the read-only linked wallets to Passport. Until then, okay, For anyone who's watching this, anyone who's playing the game or whatever, and you have your lands on your passport, just be as careful as you can. Be extra careful when you're browsing websites, when you're clicking links. Be extra careful when you're logging into your Google anywhere. Be extra careful with two-factor and things like that. Make sure that you're secure. Make sure you log out of any extra sessions. That's what I did. And then when we have those other systems, we can move it back onto that ledger, and hopefully it should be okay. The team is keeping everything in mind, but a lot of the data is actually kept on the passport. So in theory, you shouldn't really lose anything as long as you're still using said passport. So should be all good. Please keep all of that in mind. Okay, so if you don't create a password on IMX, it can only use email. If you combine that with Proton Mail or some other secure mail, but hopefully secondary wallet support is close. I guess be super careful with your emails. Just like I said, remove it from your phone temporarily. Make sure you log out and clear session data and so on and so forth. Make sure you're protecting yourselves accordingly. TSG, you're welcome to jump on if you want. I will send you a link just in case you want to. I am so tired, but that's a good thing. Yeah, and Juilliard makes a really good point in the chat. Make sure you bookmark the Illuvidex to avoid scammers and stuff like that from happening. Bookmark everything you can. I will be extra careful with all of my links in videos too. And so make sure that if you use a link for my video, it should be okay, but always double checking that as well. I sent you a link to TSG if you ever want to come on. All right, so the next one. And so Johnny said that he's going to do it, training grounds and things like that in the Illuvium Zero game. He's very keen on it. And design dev is in progress, are different things. He thinks everyone is keen on the general idea. It seems like the team is very keen on the idea as a whole. We've heard Kieran mention multiple times about the feature, like he's almost assuming it's already in. Like he seems quite confident in the feature and things like that. So I'm loving it. Willis wants someone to donate them a T4 land. Yeah, I don't have any T4s, unfortunately. I wouldn't even if I did. Okay, so the other thing from Johnny is that when you are online, every single action is sent to the server. It will bank up a little progress to handle outages. So if your network isn't purely stable, it will back up some things on your own end and stuff like that as well. But other than that, everything happens on the server. The fact that it is not acting like that is a bug and a major one, but looks to have a reasonably simple root cause. And he believes it is fixed in development, but not live yet. So for anyone who doesn't know, there is a little bit of an issue on Illuvium Zero where you can get your progress rolled back. I had this happen to myself. I lost maybe an hour or two of gameplay. I think some others have had worse issues. The recommendation has been to swap plots here and there. Okay, swap plots. That is a really good way of resetting the server connection to make sure that your server connection doesn't get like full destroyed. And so like you're upgrading like 100 buildings, but the server actually doesn't know that yet. And so when you swap plots or when you log out and log back in properly, it seems to reset some of those connections and prevent some of that rolling back or any major issues. So I would keep things refreshing as much as you can to protect yourself from any bugs and stuff like that. Just for your own sanity, trust me on this one, okay? Just trust me on this one. So I think Aaron has said on the linked wallets as well, it's something that's planned for mainnet release, but they unfortunately didn't have quite enough time for it. It's being worked on and will be available soon. We don't have an exact timeline on that. I've heard varying things. Kieran, I think, has said maybe two to 3 weeks, but these messages are giving me the idea of 1 week, maybe even shorter. But we don't know exactly when, but soon, hopefully, within the month for sure. Okay, so Aaron talks about alluvial ownership in the Gauntlet Leviathan Arena. Okay, so he says anything you play that you don't own will have no bonus traits. So an Atlas won't have any bonus stats or any bonus increased stats from levels, meaning that the better your alluvials, the better your advantage. It is fully pay to win. That's just the Leviathan side, but gated from the free-to-play players so that they can exist side by side, which is what we're talking about right now. He thinks the crypto people will play more Leviathan since they will own way more. I know personally, I'm very excited for Leviathan Gauntlet. I don't even know how much normal Gauntlet I'm going to play, but I really like the idea of like, just own the alluvials and you'll have a better time. I don't know. I enjoy it. And it's kind of interesting. If you come in with a beefier Fisto, the people are going to know you'll pivot to shock, and that means they can focus on countering you. So even in pay-to-win environment, there's still the chance of outplays. It really is going to, like, if you have a particularly good Ramfire, you're probably going to gun down that path, but at the same time, a Ramfire is quite predictable. You can play around a Ramfire. And so if they're doing that, you can play around them more often. So there's some interesting dynamics to this entire setup. So Aaron says that there are plenty of Easter eggs from big movies in the game. I think in the lore and the voice lines and things like that. He even says there's definitely an Arnie line in the game, which sounds really, really cool. I don't know movies as well as probably many of you do, but if you come jump on my stream when I do the 24-hour stream, I hope you guys will point out all the Easter eggs I am missing. In the leaks discussion, Aaron says that when we start playing, there is stuff we already know, okay? And he hopes people won't be all, but there is nothing new in the game because we've helped design the game at this stage, and he's not sure. Aaron's concerned that he's not going to be able to surprise us, and I totally get it. He's trying to set expectations. Personally, I'm not expecting to find anything new. I'm excited to just go on the blockchain. I'm looking forward to any even small story elements. But yeah, he's trying to keep things like that. Just imagine a new player who knows nothing. They're going to have a good time. And for us, the reward of knowing everything early is that we'll have an advantage. Plus, you get into the start before things get harder because of the bonding curves. For those who come after you, they get the advantage of a new world to explore and a totally new story. I'm really looking forward to the story side of things. We haven't seen much, in particular, the Leviathans. Like, honestly, guys, what do you think the Leviathan's going to be all about? Are we going to be able to capture it? I mean, probably not. It's going to be linked to the Illuvials in some way. I like the Pokemon origin story where everything came from Mew. Mewtwo was a clone of Mew. I would like the Leviathan or this sort of story to tie into all of the beings on this planet or on this world. And I think that would be really, really exciting. All right, just go on to the next one. Okay. So Aaron said this, which really surprised me. Bonding isn't being removed entirely. It's actually being reworked. Now, it's not in the game right now, but once they finish reworking it, they will add it back in. I have no idea what this could look like because all the weapons allow you to get all these synergies. But like, yeah, I don't know. The guys are working to get things stable, and there's only so much they can do at once. He's also saying that if you trust us on that and support us on launch, then I guarantee the game will be tons better as time goes on. He also said here for Arena, the survival mode, they're looking at some fundamental changes to gameplay, which were never a priority, but were always coming, and they won't be live when we launch, but they will be high on our priority list once Gauntlet is in a good state. So thankfully, they're going to be fixing up the UI, getting Gauntlet completely to a ready state before they do all that other sort of stuff. Ascendant will also get a major overhaul, which is great. I hope they bring back Ascendant in full force. They don't know the exact direction it will go, but there are a few options which I think are all better than what we have now. For Gauntlet, what you saw the other day is only the start. There is going to be more. This is going to be more the wild mode with lots of fun stuff to make every game really different. And it's no secret that Arena is Aaron's favorite of the games. We have been busy with a lot of things, so it might not feel like much has changed. Once we get to the point where we aren't fixing bugs and adding basic things like new UI, you will see how fast they can cook. And that is a promise from Aaron himself. We love to see it. All right. So the next thing is Kieran has said that they can start working on Beyond again once the games are released. Now, don't forget, the art is actually locked in for Beyond, basically. I have no idea about the partner art, but Beyond is coming in August, September, something like that. About a month after launch, I think they said. One easy thing to implement, but quite big for Beyond holders, is extending the cosmetic aura in Gauntlet to anyone holding the Illuvatars as well. I don't know how I feel about this. The promise is that Illuvials go across all games, and you start adding these precedents for things like Illuvatars. I don't know if that's great, but I still love the idea of adding utility to Beyond. So maybe there's something there. I think it's plenty fine that you get 3 Dokas and you get a Doka Blast that you can use in the game. I don't know why you need to go beyond that. But if it's not much work, then there's that too. So it's not terrible. Okay, so the other thing is, in terms of revenue distribution, it depends on the amount of revenue the Illuvium DAO actually generates. And eventually we will move to ZK EVM IMX, which is far superior for many reasons, the big one being smart contracts. And yeah, multiplayer is coming to Illuvium. We don't know when, but it is coming. They've got some dev builds where they've like tested out proof of concepts and things like that. So it's definitely possible. Hopefully not too far away. So Jeremy clarifies some things regarding Illuvium. Mad Extreme asks, any idea when we can expect the airdrop payout now that it's over? Not a clue, Mad Extreme. They're trying to deal with all the cheaters and make sure they're patching all that up. As soon as that's done, then you will be able to do it. But yeah. So Jeremy says the buildings will remain on transfer. To improve the security of your Passport account, make sure to set a strong two-factor verification on email you're using. And with Google, you can set two-factor authentication with a hardware key. So there's that as well. So there's a lot of things we need to consider. It's my understanding that on transfer, here's how it's going to work. Buildings will remain. So if you have a harvester, it's going to stay on the thing when you transfer the land. Level of your account and stuff on that land is probably going to transfer. The credits and the builders, I don't believe will. I believe they're linked to the Passport land combo. So if that land on your Passport has 3 builders, if you sell the land, move it around, buy it back again, you'll probably get those 3 builders back. But if it's a different plot, you won't, and stuff like that. Although the credits seem to be across all of your Passport land. So there's that too. I'm going the SRV2 route at launch. I'm going to be focusing completely on building up the land and not necessarily selling the fuel from the land. We have no idea how much that is going to be anyways. But yeah, should be interesting. So Ridge posted about an Illuvium Zero update where they're aware of an issue affecting Illuvium Zero. This was a while back. Maybe this is a bit outdated. Probably not worth it. In here, Rich posted there's 1 week until the official game launch. There was a town hall, Kieran's Guild Wars, and a bunch of other events that were happening. Again, those are in the past. Maybe not that worth sharing it. But Kieran made a really interesting post. The only other announcement I should probably mention is Illuvium Zero is officially on mainnet. You can download on Epic Games Store, Google Play, or app stores. Download the game, play it. You're good. If your land's on the Passport, it'll be there too. So fantastic. Illuvium Zero is officially launched. Go and play it. Highly recommend. And Kieran talked about the land revenue share distribution method, and he's made some adjustments to this proposal, which should be going on to Snapshot for people to vote on very soon. But basically, this just defines that the 5% share of revenue from digital product sales are going to go to landholders. Until lands build up, they're not really going to be able to pull that off. They're not really going to sell. They're going to lose out on that 5%. But what this proposal does is that after that, when they are producing fuel, it's going to be distributed. It's going to be held back and then distributed back to them when the time is right. And it will be based, this is the big part of the proposal, it will be based on their fuel sales. If I'm producing a crap ton of fuel, then that's how proportionate my pay is from that back pay, essentially. So it's going to be a bit interesting. A land's not visible on iOS. You could definitely get it on iOS somehow. I don't know what the exact way to do it is. Leg day was supposed to be today, but sleep is going to be more important for me. I'm going to have to do leg day on like Saturday night or something, or Sunday. Yeah, it's a shame. I did do arms yesterday though, so I'm all good. Crypto quick chat. That's a really good question, Redass. What's your strategy from when it goes live? What area do you go first? Will you go into tier 0, capture some, then tier 1, then tier 2? Okay, here's some alpha because I've figured out the perfect plan. And if you're on my live stream, you'll see this in action. My plan is simple. Go to tier 0, capture 1 alluvial. Okay? That's literally it. Run into tier 0, capture 1 alluvial, and leave. That is, okay? After that, go to a stage 1 zone. Now, I can't actually pick which zone. Only one's going to be unlocked. Go to a stage 1 zone. Find the rarest possible thing I can. Probably scan the alluvials in this case. Find the rarest possible. Shoot up a bunch of shards, sorry. Won't do the scan. Shoot up a bunch of shards. Get as many shards as I can. Jump back to Sanctum Mesa. Cure all those shards. Go straight back into the region. Okay, use the scan. I might not use the scan much, but on this first one I will. find the rarest possible thing I can, or a holo or something, and capture it ASAP. I need the one Illuvium from tier 0 to guarantee I can win that fight. Shooting a bunch of consumables near the Illuvial too. Capture as many Illuvials as I can and try and get anything with a capture number of 1. That's my plan. I want to be the first person to capture something. I don't care what it is. I just want to capture it. And that's my plan. Although this might fall through because Australian Wi-Fi sucks. And so I actually have no idea if I'm going to be able to download it before other players. And so I might be a bit shit out of luck, but that's fine. It is what it is. And yeah, that's basically what Kieran's proposal dictates. So the other thing is fuel allocation for marketing purposes. I actually, being on the council, I actually just approved this one. I didn't love it because the community was like a bit split. Now it seems like it's got a lot of upvotes, but the community was quite split as far as the feedback I could see. But the proposal basically allocates $25,000 worth of fuel per month for marketing efforts to distribute to influencers, partners, and stuff like that. This is great for marketing, okay? It's really going to help marketing. It's really going to help get more people in. So it's a good marketing move. But the community was a little bit split on it, so I had to really consider if I wanted to upvote or downvote it. No problem, Redass. But I mean, that's a personal thing. I don't necessarily think the first capture is going to be worth a lot of money or anything. I just really want one. There's really only 150 of them, right? Fusions will count, though. Fusions will actually get a capture number, which I don't like myself, but they will be. That's what they've confirmed in the Discord. So there's that too. Maybe your plan is to get 3 Atlas off the bat and fuse them into an Axon quickly because Axon might be harder to find. I'd say Axodon is hard to find, not necessarily Axon. So there's that too. Okay, the next thing is this. Dr. Spoon has updated his proposal regarding the training ground structure at Illuvium 0. This will go up for vote very soon. I think people really, really like it. I don't see why this would fail to pass at the IMC level and stuff like that as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. And a little bit of community content before we wrap this one up. So Professor LP posted a really sweet... I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom to share it. Okay. He posted a really sweet breakdown of the first things to do in Illuvium 0. I highly recommend watching this after you watch my beginner guide on Illuvium 0. These two actually go really well together, and I wanted to make one of these videos at some point too. But he's done a really good job. My personal strategy is rush down Nexus 7 at all costs, so you can get 100 buildings onto your plot, which is a big difference from 50 buildings. So highly recommend that. The other thing is Nefer has put out a quick tip. If you can't extract resources because you have no power, just move the power station. Everything should work again. You don't actually need to move it. You just hit the move button, hit save, and it will work. So consider that. Wait, so Stormblessed Kiwi says you're going to buy some SRV2. You have already... Wait, hold on. You already have some, but it's basically dust. Problem is, I think I have some on mainnet, some on IMX, and unsure the best way to get it into my passport. What's the best way? I actually have a video coming out, I think, just before the game launches. I think that's when I schedule it for. And it actually covers this exactly. So I highly recommend watching that when it comes out. That's going to be a lot better than me trying to explain it here because there's a lot of different websites and a lot of different stuff. I highly recommend looking at that. As for identifying which wallet has SRV2, I like to use a website called dbank.com. I will post it here so people don't get the link wrong. I really like that website. That will show which wallets have SRV2. It's one of my favorite crypto websites ever. But yeah, okay. So the next thing is 24-hour live stream is coming in about 8.5 hours. I'm going live for 24 hours playing all of the games, all of the time, over 13 guests. It's an exciting time. And the last thing I should talk about is the Illuvium Alliance program. You can, let me zoom in a bit. That didn't work. All right. You can now go into the account settings on the Illuvium, on the Illuvidex website, click on your little profile, go into account settings. And then you can actually put in my referral code to support me as a creator. it's been a long time coming for this one, but I really appreciate it if you guys want to do that and show me support. If you don't, that's fine too. There are lots of great creators and other communities out there. So please, I just recommend you go put someone's name in there. I don't care. Well, I would like it to be mine, but I respect your decision to do whoever it is. And please go and put something in there. And yes, as for launch, I told you guys my strategy on the Illuvium overworld. Illuvium 0 is quite simple. Rush down Nexus 7 at all costs. I'm probably going to have 2 builders on all my lands and 3 builders on my tier 3 because that will build up quite quickly. As for Gauntlet, I actually plan on playing as early as I can. If I can get like the rank 1 spot or something and then like take a screenshot, that would be really funny. But I'm looking forward to playing Gauntlet. It's like a really great break from Overworld too. Like you might play Overworld and be like, I've gone to this region 10 times straight. I'm getting a little bit tired. Maybe I'll log off. But no, you don't have to log off. You can play Gauntlet, free to play, easy to jump into, play it. I've got a tutorial coming out soon. Jump into Gauntlet. It's a whole lot of fun. There's that too. And so Illuvium has something for everyone. I'm really looking forward to it. As far as the launch goes, try and get those first captures. That's really all I recommend. I don't think there's any crazy rush. You can maybe rush to Dark Hollows, so you can scan the thing and try and find Dark Hollows as fast as you can. But like, no one's going to just start buying Dark Hollows minute 1. I don't know why. That doesn't make any sense unless they think that they're going to be worth a crazy amount in the future or something. I don't know. But everyone's going to have a different strategy. But all I need to say is get your SRV2 or Ethereum ready in your wallet. I have a tutorial coming soon. And yeah, get excited. Jump into the 24-hour stream. We're going to have a